when I was just a boy. Christmas brought so much joy. Couldn't wait for the presents and laughter. I couldn't sleep late at night, looking for Santa with lights. Those are the memories I still remember. Then I became a man, lost sight of who I am, but right in front of me was the answer. 'Cause on Christmas I feel joy, and I turn back to a boy. The answer is to stay young forever. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song.
Hello, Star Wars fans. You know, there's just 318 days until Christmas 2023. Oh, and Empire Magazine gave us a little bit of an early Christmas gift today. I've got my friends Jason Ward and Star Wars Meg here to talk about all things Star Wars today. It's great to have you here, my friends. Thank you so much.
I've been in this fight since I was 6 years old.
You have. I see that with that fantastic background you have. It's fantastic. Thanks. So some breaking news that just happened, and Jason was able to take advantage of going on live and right after it came out, and I covered it. So we're gonna jump in and speculate responsibly or irresponsibly.
Baymax gave us some pretty good analysis.
Baymax has been doing some homework.
Yeah,
Right?
he dug in.
Certainly has.
I'm
And
convinced.
I'll show. I've got a visual aid at the ready because of what Baymax
Is
did.
it
Right here.
Darth Cheeks? Because Martin told me you've not seen enough of it.
It was another picture right off of the same wall. I've had this hanging on my wall. It was a gift from.
This is a tattoo on Darth Cheeks. This is a picture of what he has tattooed. I see.
And we have Martin in the chat right there. So yeah. No, this is
Jason, Santa has Bo-Katan on one, Din Djarin on the other. Can you guess who's in the middle?
You know who's in the middle? Tell
I'll leave that
us.
to the imagination.
Okay.
So we'll talk more about the visual aid here in a moment because our friend Baymax was able to connect some dots, and it goes right with this picture here. We've got Matt Cave, and we've got a lot of folks in the chat. Let's look at this Empire Magazine thing because I think it's kind of leading the discussion. This was just released today, 2 hours ago, and I was on a stinking work meeting. Couldn't talk about it until now, but there's blah 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 blah. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Well, we got a cover. You got Din Djarin with it looks like I agree. This looks like a Photoshop face on there, but
It looks like Pedro Pascal went to a Disneyland and his mom bought him one of those things where they'll put your head on a superhero.
right. It
Or like
really
those
does.
cutouts where like the head is cut out and you stick your head through it.
Yeah, you just set it
Like at
right on top.
Christmas fairs and things like
Yeah.
that.
Exactly. And Bo-Katan. And we've got little Grogu and his new Priam right there.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about the
Din's-
fact that Bo-Katan has Clone Wars hair? Bo-Katan's hair is like the animation.
It's time.
It is. It is. She did, and that's her hair. It's not a wig. All right.
That's called a Mando makeover.
Mando makeover.
Mm-hmm. It's a throwback.
Yeah. No, this is all good. And we see Din with the dark saber. There's been lots of speculation about these two not getting along because of the dark saber and who gets to wield it, who owns it, right? I think it's We'll find out. We'll
What-
find
what-
out. But I don't think. Let me ask this question. Let me
Okay.
ask. Do you think that during Mando season 3, the Darksaber will change ownership?
Absolutely. I think Bo-Katan is the one.
What do you think,
So-
Jason?
The thing I wonder about is when he goes down into Lake Minnetonka and then gets like baptized again and stuff. Is that a clean slate entirely? Like, does that mean is that how he's able to give it away in that moment? Is that sort of like you're a clean slate now? The past is the best, so your achievements are gone too. I don't know.
So I don't know if you guys caught the new TV spot, but there is new footage with Paz Vizsla. Is it Paz Vizsla?
Mm-hmm.
One
Yeah.
of them
Yeah.
with the voiceover, and he says, "I see that you're back." So I kind of feel like Mando is at least going to try and give it a go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so Jason, you didn't answer the question.
Yeah.
You, you skirted it.
Well, all of the stuff that well, I don't know. Are we in spoiler town or downtown to spoiler town or no spoilers?
Oh,
Do you really need spoilers for this question?
Yeah,
Oh no!
because when I've seen her looking a bit different, and when she looks a bit different, I think it's the end look, and the end look doesn't have a dark saber that I saw.
Aha!
So, but it doesn't mean she doesn't have it, but I didn't see it. So, like, you know, they like to show it when they got it. You know what I
Can
mean?
I
Like,
speculate responsibly, Jason?
no,
Can I speculate?
I want you to go downtown to Crazy Town because that's where I'm at right now.
Okay, I'm going to go crazy on you. So,
Okay.
do you reckon that maybe because all the clans are getting together, we assume the Darksaber is the most important thing because that's what House Vizsla used to rule Mandalore? But what if taming a creature or doing something else, some other act, is more important to rule Mandalore, and that's what leads Bo-Katan to acquire new armor?
Yeah, that's
Hello, that's I'm with you, Meg.
No,
that's
no,
exactly what.
that's like what happens. Like she does that, and then they defeat that thing, and then they forge it for her. And then there's like that. I had that thing about the ceremony, and they all clank their bracers and stuff together. And when that happens, it's like that's like her. I don't know, inauguration. I don't know what you call it when somebody becomes the head of Mandalore. So it doesn't seem like the sword is really at play in the equation there. But maybe it's dealt with before is what I'm wondering. You know what I mean? Like it might be dealt with in the earlier part of the season.
Oh
But-
boy, you guys.
Santa,
There's
I
so
guess you
many
could call it a metamorphosis.
metamorphosis. Wow,
Amandamorphosis.
We're Mandomorphosis.
Mhm.
It's even better. I love it. No, that's great. There's a couple things I've been dying to say. One is, and I feel like I'm shouting into the void where nobody hears me. The dark saber does not signify the ruler of Mandalore. It gives someone a claim to rule Mandalore, but it does not bequeath rulership to you, nor does the ruler, by definition, have to wield the darksaber. Those can be in two different places. It gives somebody the right to make a claim, but even the person who wields it is not guaranteed to be the ruler of
Well,
Mandalore.
I think Bo-Katan would bequeath all over your claim.
I think it's Mando clout. I think like people are gonna fall in line with you if you have it, but I think when she shows up with mythosaur armor, then it's like, oh yeah, who cares about your dark saber?
Well, and Star Wars Mandalore brings up a really good point as well. We had Mandalore's mask. That was another. We had these two really big items that would kind of give you a claim to the throne. The other was the mask of Mandalore. And we haven't heard peep of it in The Mandalorian. We haven't seen peep of it outside of what is now Legends, I believe. You have to correct me if I'm wrong on that. I know that it's a big thing in some Legends material. There was a big excursion to go find it, all kinds of stuff, right? But I've not heard any word of Mandalore's mask or the Mask of Mandalore in new canon. And perhaps this mythosaur armor would be a third object of significance, and that Bo would maybe be involved in the killing of the mythosaur, taking its skin and then, or hide, whatever, armor, having armor made specifically for her would show, hey, I'm the ruler. She may be voted in as ruler, as you're mentioning with the that's how they're granting their approval, whatever.
I have a
There's a
theory.
lot of that
I
story.
think the armor is going to be the one who makes the armor for Bo-Katan, because the armor mentions the mythosaur.
No, she
legend in
does.
the Book of
No,
Boba
she
Fett.
she literally does.
Okay.
Yeah, she's like she's the one who's like leading the ceremony, and they sort of do they baptize him, and they make her the leader in that same sort of like go. It sounds like, unless they just filmed all that stuff together and it's not together, there's always a chance. It's unlikely, highly unlikely, but there's always a chance.
Here's a hot take from KG, right? Are they going to try to romantically pair Din and Bo to get a Grogu mommy? You got mommy and daddy.
Is he allowed to take his mask off, or if he gets a girlfriend? Like, is that allowed?
He wouldn't take it off for his other girlfriend.
Yeah, she was a freak though. She didn't want to kiss. I don't know.
I don't know. I have not heard that speculation that they would try to make a romantic pairing between the two of them.
Yeah, I haven't heard it. I haven't heard anything like that. That seemed like that was where it was going, but I'm sure fans will still read into it that way because there's two people in a frame must
fans,
be in love.
Yeah, fans like to do that kind of.
Yeah.
See, my mind went elsewhere, and I can't say it on stream, but I'll share it with you later.
Okay.
Fair enough. Well, this is the other thing that has a lot of interest, and this is where our friend Baymax has done a ton of research, and where my visual aid comes in. I've got he did this for us. So he went through these helmets, and gave them names. We've got it right here, and there's a couple that have question marks. So we've clearly got some of them that are recognizable, right? Armor, right there.
The second guy is Axe Woves.
This one here,
That one.
Yeah.
and then Paz, and then this one here is right there.
When did this come out? Right, this this art that you have right there, is that from like a season? Is that from season 2 or?
2020.
Yeah, it came out right after season 1. And
Okay, so
I do
these
have
are
a Funko of the green one, and she's just referred to as something generic. I'll go find her.
so these would be the Mandos who were like in the little enclave on Navarro, probably.
well,
Yeah, the green one is called Tribe Covert Mandalorian.
Okay,
So there's more than just Pazan, the armorer.
gotcha.
So we got Mando right there in the middle. That's right, and he's here as well, right there. Right. So it's the same idea. Here we got Bo-Katan. You can clearly see the night owl thing there. This other question mark one here is right there.
Bo Chris Katan.
Right.
That's her
No,
middle name.
that's not it. That's not it. It's the one up here. Hold on. I gotta find it. Here it is, right at the top middle.
Yeah,
It's this one.
right.
There it is. All right, so that's that's this one here. Casca. There's now Baymax is
see.
saying
Yeah,
this
no.
one's Axe, not that
He's
one.
right. He's right.
This one, not that
That
one.
is Axe.
This one's not on this thing either, by the way. And then at the bottom, we go on down. There's 2 more. And these are the ones.
Remember Bespin Bulletin when he had that picture of like the guy with the really good hair, like a white guy with some like kind of like, I wouldn't call it like a pompadour, but it was really like kind of like has like a flit to it, and he had like
Yeah,
a really good
loosely.
picture. Is that I wonder if that's the new guy who we don't know who he is, because he seems to have done a couple of days of filming at least.
Yeah, let's come right back to that, Jason. That's
Okay.
really good.
Jason,
So
he had like brown and green armor.
Yeah,
that dude.
Okay.
So the other question mark right here
is him.
is this dude, right? And then this one here, I don't think there's any question at all. That's Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And
yeah, Arya. Arya's
Right,
like, that's
we can
Boba
go-
Fett. I'm like, yeah, it is. It
is. That's Boba Fett. That's Boba Fett.
Has those little things right
Now-
here, like on the eyebrow, like that's
Right.
beyond the
These
dent.
little-
The dent with
Right.
those little things, that's it.
It's Boba Fett. That's
Yeah.
Boba Fett. The only one we don't know is this dude. It could be a new character. Absolutely.
Yeah.
To your point. And it bears saying, this is speculation town we're in. It very well could be that Empire went out and just grabbed some Mando helmets, put it in a thing.
There's a good chance those were just assets, and Lucasfilm wasn't very giving. That's
Right.
completely on the table, 100% on the table. I would say.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Be prepared for that.
Yeah, exactly. We might be reading way too much into this.
Yeah.
Right. They may have just from the art department said we need this, and they went out and they grabbed these and they made it into a little aesthetic. Right.
So I had a friend who was at Empire who's not there anymore, so I think it's probably okay to say. But basically, they used to go. What Lucasfilm used to do is they would go to the big boys, to the like your Vanity Fairs and your EWs, and then they would let them pick. They would have this like swath of things that you could pick to put in your magazine, but they would let like EW go first. So EW goes and they initial. EW wants it. EW wants it. And Vanity Fair, for instance, I'm not saying really Vanity Fair, but EW was one of them. And then like Empire was like, well, we got to pick this because this was what was left. And then or they would only give us this and that kind of stuff like that. So they classically haven't been super like giving to them for what it's worth. They have a good relationship, but they do like hold back on the assets and what they can show and what they can pick. So
Yeah.
And I would also think that with this coming to Empire at this time, we could probably expect an EW thing pretty soon, most likely too.
Right.
They usually go together, for the record. Like they classically have.
Yeah, and then Vanity will be right behind them or whatever, right? So
Yeah, if Vanity Fair does one, that'd be on the horizon too. But I kind of feel like that last Vanity Fair piece seemed to kind of cover this already. Because remember, Mando was supposed to be out in December. That was the original plan,
right?
And so it wasn't going to line up with Vanity Fair doing anything with what something else I thought they had going on. So I'm not expecting a Vanity Fair, but that would be cool. I don't know if we're getting one or not, but I wouldn't expect one actually.
Yeah. So Fitz says, "Hey, you missed the beginning, but is Boba in Mando 3?" Well,
No.
let's touch base on that.
No.
Yes.
Meg kind of shared it some time ago that there were rumors coming out of the last celebration when they saw some footage. Some folks said, "Ooh, I saw Boba. I saw Boba Fett flying in one of those things. It was Boba Fett. I saw him." And then other people like, "No, totally, that didn't happen."
That was so inconclusive. That was so frustrating.
Right.
I was like, "Come on, tell us now."
And then, Meg, you have shared that you've heard Boba's in Mando 3.
I have, amongst other characters. I think Tem has had more than one role in season 3.
Very good. Very good.
And it ties into the chain code that we saw in season 2. You know, when they mentioned Django and his mentor. What was his name? The guy who
Jaster
found
Morrell?
Django. Jaster Morrell. He was on that chain code. I think they're doing more with Tem in season 3 than what we've been led to believe.
That again, we're in a little bit of speculation there, but absolutely possible. But then this Empire cover comes out, and we
When-
see this. We see
when-
Boba's helmet. So
The,
to
big
answer your
stuff?
question, Fitz, like maybe he's in it, maybe he's not. We can't take this as proof, but it's more supporting evidence. Go
When
ahead,
the
Fitz.
big stuff was being filmed, he wasn't there though. When they're fighting mythosaurs, when they're getting baptized in Lake Minnetonka, all that kind of stuff, he's not there for that stuff. So what? So my speculation is either he's being CGI'd in, like he didn't need to be there. They're like adding him, later, or he's in the beginning and there's sort of like a goodbye on Tatooine between the two guys, and he's like, I gotta stay here. I'm the daimyo now. Daimyo doesn't leave, or they will steal my stuff, like the Jawas stole your ship. Remember that, Mando?
Well,
Oh,
This place is
I
crazy.
Here's the thing,
remember some-
why would Mando go to Tatooine?
He goes
If
there
not-
and he gets like R5D4 and stuff, right? In the
But
beginning.
why would he go there just for that? I feel like he'd pay a visit to Boba.
Maybe he goes there for well, I mean, like
he's got to get another alteration on that N1. And we know Peli was involved in making the first alteration to the N1.
well, refresh my memory. Does he actually like leave? Does he actually fly away in Book of Boba Fett and say like goodbye? I don't remember now. Or do
From
we
what?
leave in the finale of Book of Boba Fett? Is Mando just there
Yeah,
at the
he
end?
flies away.
He-
No, he
so
flies away. Do you remember there was that scene with Grogu hitting the
where
dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is
Right.
there a chance that's just a test flight? And they just turn
Maybe.
right back on, or do they go whoa and then our ship is malfunctioning? It's got a bad motivator, and then they turn around. I don't know, but we do know that he goes back because we know Pelimoto's in it. We know he gets the R5D4, and so I'm wondering if it's like in that episode is where we would see Boba, but it's not Boba in the Mando politics or the Mando action that comes later on. Because
I do have a question.
Mhm.
Who do you think replaced the Gamorrean guards? Because Boba's going to need more security now because the two Gamorreans died.
Oh yeah, that was Frank Trigg from UFC too. It's pretty funny.
You just go get some more Gamorreans. No problem.
Yeah,
But
Go
I
down
think
to
those
the
were
Gamorrean.
the two that served Bib Fortuna and Jabba.
yeah. Do you
The mod
think
gang.
do you think those two will
The
just
mod
be
gang.
back?
Yeah, the mod gang.
Do you think they'll just put them back in there though? I mean, like these are just two different ones now. Give one like a little like titty piercing or something, and be like, there he is. He's different. You know
Jon
what I mean?
Favreau seems to do different things each season. Like
Yeah.
we never have had two seasons that are the same with Mando. There's always new characters. So I wouldn't be
Right.
surprised if it's the mod gang or if he hired two random Tatooine citizens, like the water trader or whatever.
Right. Well, let me go back. There were some again rumors, speculation. It was more speculation than anything else that due to certain things and characters involved on Navarro, that they were going to kind of switch emphasis from Navarro to Tatooine, and that now Boba's palace would be the place where these random groups of Mandalorians would gather as a meeting place before they go on this excursion to Mandalore to retake Mandalore. That was some early speculation. Now we've seen in the
Yeah.
trailers that there is a visit to Navarro for sure.
Well,
How much time will they spend there?
a lot.
Who knows?
No, I'm
Yeah.
going to say a lot because that they built a lot of sets for it. Most of the Tatooine sand was out there for not a lot. There wasn't a lot of Tatooine stuff going on for actual set builds. Navarro was the primary set building stuff that went on at the places that I know of. So that makes me think that's highly unlikely that Tatooine is going to be prominently featured in the season.
But to Santa's point, we do actually see
Mhm.
a cave that looks like Tatooine with the Mandos coming out, and then the ones that are hitting their chest ready for fight. That looks like
Mhm.
Tatooine as well, but it could be
Yeah.
like Ovala 7 or somewhere else.
Yeah, or just another one of those. I mean, it all looks like Tatooine to me, to be honest with you. I do know when it's Navarro by the ground because of the tiles that they use, and then the buildings, of course. But you could tell like what was what based off of the ground, what kind of sand is used and the dirts and stuff. And so
I
if
tell you
they if Mhm.
what's fun, Kindle, is to pause or go back and then watch the video at double speed when Meg's got the animated GIF on here. It's fantastic to watch her animation at 2x. And you think she's blinking fast now. Play it at 2x speed. It's great. It's it's the best thing ever. So go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted. I got distracted.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember what we're saying now.
I think it'd be cool to see Tatooine, but it seems as though Lucasfilm use it too much in projects that don't always need it, and then they don't use it at all in projects that could use it.
Well,
Yeah.
let me ask you guys this. This is something that's been on my mind. Is we see Navarro go from Imperial control, and it's a crap hole. It's really jacked up. It's not good. Second season, it's a little bit better. And then we know in the third season, it's pretty much becoming a kind of a little bit more opulent place by the look of it. And our boy looks like he's got that cool like robe going and everything like that. So does a lot of time go by?
Somebody needs to get
Yeah.
Brandon out of here.
Yeah, Brandon.
Yeah,
Brandon
get
out.
Brandon out of here.
But
Gotta go. Gotta go.
Yeah. But what's the time jump? Like, is there a time jump? Are we talking like very next day? Do they get those little Luke Skywalker droids and build that place up overnight, or is it
I
Is
would
it-
say it's probably like a few weeks. If you remember from the armor telling Din at the end of season 1, you must bring it to its own kind or whatever. And then we jump to that unknown planet with a Gamorrean fight and the one-eyed guy. There was probably a few planet visits in between that time period. So
Yeah.
I would say it's kind of like Ahsoka between Corvus and Luke's Academy. On Ossus, I would say there's probably a few weeks, maybe a month. But it's not a time jump that's big enough for us to necessarily have missed anything or for them to catch us up on. It's kind of
Yeah.
like the TV formula, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Is this just like Star Wars logic, Star Wars time, where it just doesn't, don't ask. It's been some time and some stuff has happened. Like I could watch Empire Strikes Back and debate all day how long that movie, what's the time frame of that movie. Some people go like from West End Games, they had it at like 4 months or something like that back in the day, and it's just like seems like it's 3 days. So but anyways, the reason why I'm saying that is because if we do see if time has gone by, he does zip away. We may just come back with him going back to Tatooine right away because he needs the droid, because they're going to be doing a lot more space flight with that ship. Like why would he need R5D for?
Well, that navigation line that's in there, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying. So he's going to be going to Mandalore.
They make a lot of creative decisions based on what might be convenient later in the plot. So, as you say, there might be actually a reason to R5, but disguised as Peli being like, you know what, you've come over your fear of droids and you've met R2 or whatever, so take this one. And then R5 might come in handy later on if he's going to explore the unknown regions, which I believe, I don't know if it was you and your leaks or someone else, but it's the whole thing of Mando accidentally stumbles into the unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Very
don't know.
interesting. Star Wars Politics asks, any chance Boba wants to lead rule Mandalore? I say no.
No.
And I saw somebody put in chat, I think Kay said, why would he? somebody else said, at the end of Boba, he said he's not cut out to lead. No, more than that is when he was confronted by Koska Reeves, right? He said, "I'm no Mandalorian," kind of thing, right? Like I don't follow any creed. I follow my own kind of rule book. So, I don't see Boba wanting anything to do with leading Mandalore. He's the daimyo of Tatooine, and we set that up in the book of Boba Fett. That's where he's going to stay.
I'm gonna make quite a, I've got a hot take about Boba Fett. I do think with this whole idea of his future, the majority of his story arc is already pretty complete. Like, he's already done so much, between Attack of the Clones and the Clone Wars, meeting Bosk and being part of that little clan with Aura Singh, and then to work for the Empire. And now I'm kind of enjoying him. I like him to be badass again, but I'm kind of enjoying the fact he can have a bit of peace. And that's why I hope Omega comes into the story, so he can have a bit of family and still bring back that kind of those awesome fights and him being the action figure bounty hunter we know and love. But I kind of like this path for him, and him being an ally to Din is probably better than him having his own series, even though I'm kind of a hypocrite because I do really want a season 2 of Boba.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a season 2 of Boba would be an opportunity to clean it up a little bit, and make it a little bit like define things out. But, at the end of it, like somebody just brought up where he says, we're not cut out to lead or whatever. I see that a lot. And I feel like that's said a bit facetiously. Don't you think? Like at the end, it's almost like, us leaders, like that's kind of what it's saying. Not like we're taking off. Like some people I see have this theory and take it as that like Boba's about to like bounce on Tatooine, and I don't get that at all from it. I get it as like it's crazy that a couple of wise asses like me and you are ruling this planet, isn't it? Like that's kind of what it is, Yeah. Unlikely. Yeah. Sort of like the unlikely leader is kind of what I think that's alluding to. So.
Yeah, I agree. And this is what I was talking about. The Sabersmith says maybe Tatooine becomes a safe place for Mandalorians. I could see that was a speculation back some time ago that could be the case. And that could be the case as we're getting ready to go for the reclamation of Mandalore, that they're assembling there. They all meet at Boba's palace. And it becomes this big Mando safe haven, before they jump off.
See, the thing about that idea is where it just doesn't feel right, because like look at like Din, and when he's around another Mando, what do? They fight. I don't think Boba's gonna want those dudes like on his place. They're the only people who could like challenge him. Yeah, he's cool with Din because they had a little space adventure, but it's like I'm not sure if that would be the coolest idea. You want a bunch of people with your same abilities, your same power, being around your spot just because you wear the same armor and you're not in their cult and don't want to save their planet. So I don't think it would go that way. But I'm curious if it will.
Tension would be cool, right? Like,
sure, but not for Boba.
Tension, this friction in the room, and you got to kind of show like, we're having it here.
Yeah,
you got to get along.
Yeah, I think like in the cowboy sense, it would be like, yeah, you could sleep in the barn and have some water, but in the morning you go. I think it would be like that kind of relationship in reality, like of the series, if they were to really think about it, and like see it through. But you never know with Star Wars. Sometimes they will overthink things and really go hard on that stuff, and other times they're like, this is sweeter. We'll go with this.
So Baymax
I have a question about this, by the way. Yeah. What happened to Cad Bane's body?
Right. I don't think Cad Bane's dead.
It'd still be there unless Todo 360 got the Justifier, took Cad Bane's body and left.
Yep. I think Cad Bane's still alive for sure. And Baymax brings up this part, and I love this idea. Maybe Omega ends up in a tight spot Boba has to rescue. Remember back in the original trilogy, the original plan was that Luke had a sister who was not Leia, right? Lilith. And Lilith was somewhere.
It was
Nelith.
Nelith.
Nelith. That's it. Nelith.
Lilith was the fair where the girls don't shave their pits. Different place.
That's Frasier's ex-wife or something like that, right?
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, Nelith, and she was somewhere. And what the plan was after the original trilogy is that Luke was going to go find her because there was some problem, some emergency.
It was supposed to be like the Return of the Jedi kind of like thing that Lee Brackett wanted to push, but
yeah, and it kind of messed it all up and mixed it and changed it.
Yeah,
you could do that same storyline here with Boba finding out he's got a sister and she's in some. So you take that original idea that George had with Nelith and Luke, you apply it to Boba and Omega, and absolutely you could have Cad Bane out there.
What I see Will Morgan saying is exactly where my mind went to, because in Old Testament, Apocrypha, non-canonical biblical stuff, Lilith was actually either a manifestation of Satan or Adam's first wife. And I always find it interesting when there are biblical parallels in Star Wars. And there are more of them than you realize. And I think that was so cool about George Lucas, drawing from like Sumerian and Near Eastern anthropology and theology. I think that's really interesting. And I've seen Santa on Twitter a couple of times bring up the Lilith thing in the last few days.
Nelith.
Yeah.
My brain. Yeah. But yeah, Nelith, it was the original thing there. And then, and we do have, to your point, we do have a baptism going on here, right? To be redeemed in the Mandalorians, you have to be baptized in these specific waters. So very much some parallel going on there. So so that could be a thing. We could absolutely.
Well, with the Baptist, watch, it's going to happen.
No, but we could end up with a Luke Nelith instead of that being Boba Omega, and Cad Bane could still be part of the mix.
Could you imagine if at the end of chapter
Boba.
24, like we get another post-credit scene at the end of Mando, and it's like Boba's palace on Tatooine again, like at the end of season 2, and then this blonde woman just walks in and goes, "Hello, I'm Omega," and then it ends. And it's like Book of Boba Fett, season 2 coming 2029.
I think in that story, in that like that concept of her and Boba interacting at all, I think she's important to him, but he's not important to her. Like when you look at all of the people from the Bad Batch, all the clones that she knows that are like family to her, I don't see why she's going to go like, "Oh, you're unaltered, therefore we're even closer." Like it doesn't really, like in terms of the character itself. So I'm interested to see.
I disagree.
When they do handle it, how they handle that dynamic.
Yeah,
I think you're seeing it from the wrong angle, Jason.
Yeah,
I don't think you're taking the right angle. I don't think it's to do with the fact that they're unaltered. What the Bad Batch has shown us is that Omega cares more than anything about her tribe, about her brothers. Echo leaving her, I think, is going to be a huge moment of trauma for the rest of her life. Because I don't think Echo is going to survive. I think by the time of Rebels, he's got to not be around, because we see Rex, Wolf, and Gregor in Rebels, and Echo's not there. And he absolutely would be if he was alive. I think Omega is going to go on the hunt after she hears rumors of Boba Fett, who I reckon she might know the name of, but she definitely, as Santa mentioned, knows Fennec Shand, and there could be a bigger connection between those two characters.
Yep. And her wanting to find family, right? And that's what she's doing throughout the Bad Batch. The Batch is her found family, and she's wanting to. She sees them very much,
but it's also more than found, because it's like they are literally family though. Like the clones all call themselves brothers. They're not really brothers. They're clones, right? But it's like it's so close. So it's an interesting sci-fi like thing to dig into. So I hope when they do, I hope it's actually like I hope they actually get into it.
So we're kind of going everywhere, but I love what Star Wars politics says here. When we get to the finale of Bad Batch season 2, Omega befriends Grogu in Mount Tantus. So I do think at the end we're going to have a Mount Tantus arc, and she very well could find him there, and you'll have this situation come up. It could happen.
I think
well
things
could
have flipped today because I'm completely on Santa's side. I'm feeling everything Santa's saying today. Unlike the
What
other day,
happened?
and Will Morgan as well. Will Morgan is on the pulse today as well with his comments. And I do think Omega is so important. And we've seen so many YouTube videos. I've made videos on Omega in live action. And there does seem to be a fandom interest in like, oh, is she going to appear? Is she not going to appear? And I think in that way, the Bad Batch creators know there is incentive to build to that. Even as Jason says, that it might not be on their radar at the moment. That it might just be the story of the clones. I can't see a way they wouldn't make that connection. It's too obvious. And I kind of feel like Boba and Omega share a golden heart, at least at this stage. Boba's softened in his time after the Sarlacc, so I think them two meeting would be great. And for all we know, if there is a Grogu connection with Mount Tantis, what if all of this time Omega, as a bounty hunter or an assassin or whatever, has been on the search for Grogu?
Oh, I love it. And there's another rumor out there that we might as well, since we're talking about Grogu being inserted into different storylines.
This one made up fake one. Let's talk about it.
The made up fake one. Let's talk about the made up fake one. The made up fake one says something to the effect that there's going to be post sequel Rey and Grogu partnering together and discovering the things of the universe together. Made up fake story.
Made up fake story. It's literally it's completely that's completely.
Lay it out, Jason.
It just is.
Lay it out.
Yeah, I mean, like we know some things about the next film, and that's not it. You know what I mean? It's just not it.
Yeah.
And
as far as we go with like Rey, her involvement, there's a couple things. Oh my gosh, we're very much going down rabbit holes here, but there's a thing about Rey being in this season of Mandalorian, for example, and we were kind of chatting about it. That's again not a thing. And if she is at all, or I mean in Ahsoka, Rey being in Ahsoka, if it is at all, and Jason's frozen, but he'll be back. If Rey is in it at all, it'll be in one of those portals, and it'll be a shot from, say, Rise of Skywalker, where she's hearing all the voices of the other Jedi, something like that. It'll be some reused footage. It's not new footage that was shot with Rey or Daisy. It's not a thing.
I've got to say, I don't think the rumor is true in the sense of I don't think the people who created it are telling the truth. But I do think there's a chance of what you're saying. There is a chance Ahsoka reaches out to Rey through the world between worlds at the later time period, because it's a portal through time. And as you say, it's not going to be new Daisy Ridley footage. It's going to be what they did with Rebels when they walk through the world between worlds. Ezra sees, or rather Ezra hears, Maz Kanata, Kylo Ren, Rey, Yoda. It's not going to be new footage, as you say.
Yeah, I agree. While we're waiting on Jason to get back, there's one more question that came up about these helmets. Is where is Sabine? Where is Sabine? None of these are hers. Here's Sabine's helmet, just for the record. Right, you've got this little dot that makes it identifiable, very, very identifiable, and that does not exist on any of these helmets. So we do not have. The closest you get is this Night Owl helmet, but that's not it. So not Sabine. We don't yet have confirmation of her being in Mando 3.
They would never leak it. If Sabine is in season 3, it's going to be another Luke Skywalker moment. They're never going to reveal that in the promos.
Right. So I think the chance of Rey being in Ahsoka is small. The chance of Daisy Ridley having created new footage that they'll use is 0. That didn't happen. And if we see her at all, it'll be either here's Jason. He can expand on this.
don't know.
You're back.
Yeah, sorry. You keep too much BS on the internet. I had to go get a plunger and get that Ray story out of the internet.
It's still messing with your audio.
Is it really? Okay, hold on.
No,
It's a bit better now.
Let me make sure my settings didn't get undid.
No, you're good. You're good now.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully I'm back.
This is what we were talking about, like with what Vanessa says. We did hear Ahsoka's voice in Rise. It's very possible Ahsoka sees that in the World Between Worlds. We would see the scene from Rise, maybe a second camera take or something like that. It would be reused footage that then Ahsoka sees, and we hear all these voices, and it's when Ahsoka would say that to Rey. And there was a lot of speculation during Rise that Rey was dead at the time of Rise because we heard her voice. And Dave Filoni said, not so quick. Don't make presumptions that may or may not be true. And this would be confirmation that Ahsoka might not be dead at the time of Rise because she saw it in the World Between Worlds. She speaks to Rey through that portal. That would be the most that we would see Rey in Ahsoka. More likely, we won't see her at all.
Yeah.
I've got a question about the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
If Palpatine wanted Rey to strike him down, didn't Palpatine technically win?
He did.
Because I like the theory that I heard at the time that those Force voices were not real. It's why we didn't see them. They were Palpatine messing with Rey's head, because at the start of the film, she does the "be with me" thing, which fails. And Palpatine, to convince her to strike him down, may have done what he did with Kylo, the whole "I've been every voice you've ever heard inside your head," but with Rey. So she hears Adi Gallia, Mace Windu, Kanan, all of those. You don't think so?
Nah. No, I think that's too deep, too convoluted. What's Jason's favorite word? Occam's razor.
Oh, Occam's razor?
Yeah.
Yeah, the simplest explanation is the most likely.
Yeah.
And yeah. Well, that movie just has such a weird evolution about how this thing comes about. Because originally, it was just all a big ruse to get the dyad together so he could suck their Force blood and resurrect himself. That's why they're there. But when you watch the movie, it ends up being like all convoluted and strange.
Yeah,
so it's a hard read.
Yeah. Baymax isn't wrong, so there's that too. There's a couple other stories.
Baymax.
I know. There's a couple other stories, and I've got them pulled up. Let's save Bespin's till last. We have Star Wars yesterday gave us some promos of this Young Jedi Adventures. Couple of interesting things about this. One is it's set during the High Republic era, so they're wanting to introduce young kids to Star Wars through the High Republic era. They specifically said that, and then they're adorable, as Meg said in her video today. The animation in this is absolutely adorable. It may not be great content, but it
looks cheap to me.
Cute. Cheap? Oh, shut up.
It does, though.
Are you serious, Jason?
Mm-hmm.
This is cutting edge technology and animation.
Beautiful. It's gorgeous.
I think it's cute.
It's very cute.
I've changed my mind about the High Republic, by the way. I've gone out of my way to actually give it a second chance through the comics. And I'm enjoying it. It's good.
I saw that. I saw that yesterday, which is exciting. But I thought this was great. And the other part of this is who's voicing these characters. And you see that there's a specific name in here that we've seen before, right? Is our good friend D. Bradley Baker.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So he's involved. We've got, let's see who else. Jamal Avery Jr., Juliet Donenfeld, D. Bradley, as we said, Emma Berman, and Jonathan Lippow. Not Lithgow, right? No, Lippow. And then Piotr Michael as my Master Yoda. I don't know these names. I'm not a big voice acting. Have they been involved with these characters before, or are these new? Have they been
I think they're
involved in
new.
Star Wars?
I think they're new.
I could be wrong.
New
T.
to me.
Bradley
Yeah,
Baker voices every clone.
Every clone, and he's not playing a clone. He's playing this this critter here, right? Is that
I
right?
can't imagine it. I can't imagine that creature sounding like him.
Yeah, yeah.
My Young Jedi Adventures was called Return of the Jedi. What is this? If I was 4 years old and this came out, I'd be like, Star Wars sucks. I'd be out. I'd be
This
like,
isn't for Jason Ward. This is
no, I'm saying Star Wars is for 4-year-olds, and then like they're making it like this is, I don't know, this is dumb. This is
It looks
dumb.
great.
No,
You're
I
dumb.
disagree. You're dumb. I just I don't know. It's just like why not just why do they got to do that? I don't know. I don't get it. It just it
There's
works.
nothing
Star
really
Wars
to
works.
get though, Jason.
There is because it's like you could just make Star Wars stuff and then have it where like 3-year-olds still like it without making it like, oh, look, it looks like Monsters Incorporated. You know?
Okay, but Jason, do you realize how popular Cocomelon and Paw Patrol and those kind of things are?
Oh yeah,
They
no,
were
right.
like, we need to tap into that market.
no, I know what I saw the rise of Barney and I saw the generation of idiots it created. I know exactly what happens when you dumb things down. Like I'm all about yo Gabba Gabba. That was a step in the right direction. Good
Look,
music.
Jason
fun.
is salty today.
I am.
He is.
No,
we still have Jason. We have salty Jason from the other day when we were all fighting, and he still hasn't gotten over it.
These pretzels are making me thirsty. Sorry.
It's great. Martin's with Meg on this. It's a great move. I think it's a great move, and the toy sales will be much better than we get like from the Vintage Collection, Black Series Collection. The little kiddos want the little cute stuff, and I've said this for a long time. The things that sell and the things that kids want from Santa, there's two varieties: the cute stuff and the cool stuff. It's either cute
And the
or it's
unseen
cool.
stuff, which this will be. No one's gonna watch this. No one's gonna see
I don't
it.
think so. I think people will watch it.
I do
Jason, are you
too.
telling me you're not going to get a little Blue Nubs plush toy?
No, definitely not.
Yes, he is. Oh,
Everyone is.
If
I'm going to get
yeah,
one.
I'm going to send one to you if I have to.
Yeah, we'll
unlike
all
you
send
sending me that,
Jason.
unlike you sending me that kyber crystal that you've been trying to.
I
Send.
mean, well, let me ask you who yeah, I know, right? Who is this for? Though, like really like who is this for? Is this for is this really for 2-year-olds?
Yeah, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yes. The answer is yes. Preschoolers.
So once again, it's not going to sell anything then because 2-year-olds literally have no buying power in the market whatsoever.
Their parents do though, and
Yeah.
grandparents
Parents
love to buy. There's so much stuff that grandparents and parents buy for the little
I
ones.
think
Yeah.
as a parent, if you'll put this show on for your 2-year-old, you're already in the cult. You're already buying them that stuff. So.
maybe,
But
but
Jason,
it's going to be on.
the kids are not going to see this as Star Wars. They're going to see it as their favorite show with the cute creatures who use lightsabers. And then as they get older, they'll discover Resistance or
Yes.
Rebels and move from there. I don't think
Exactly.
it's as deep as you're
I say
thinking.
start him there. Start him at Rebels. You know, skip the line. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying. I did. I was into Star Wars when I was like 3.5. You know, and then it was real Star Wars though. It wasn't this fake Star Wars. Kidding. I'm kidding. Come on, guys. Come on. I'm joking a little bit. I'm looking a little bit.
Martin, the answer is no. Please no. Oh, for the love of God, please no. That's.
It looks like Monsters Incorporated to me.
But
It's
now
like
this
when I-
looks
when I
great.
see the-
And what we've learned for us by watch hours on different streaming services is if you can get a show that you can turn on for the kids and leave on repeat and walk away, this is the kind of thing that the parents are doing that with. They're doing it with Paw Patrol. They're doing it with this type of content. And so the Star Wars tapping into this audience is brilliant, not only for Star Wars, but for Disney Plus. To get the watch hours, I take the opposite of Jason saying not only will it get watch hours, it'll get lots of watch hours because they'll watch it on repeat.
I have kids. They'd hate this. They would probably hate this. But then again, like my family bought my kids Paw Patrol stuff, and they were like, "What the f is this?" I can see it on their face. They did not. They were like, "What is this?" Like they're like, "We like cool stuff."
Well,
like
I have
Paw
to share
Patrol.
this because we had Bible study here the other night, and one of our Bible studies, he's been in our chat before, Jeff.
Yeah.
He brought a little kiddo here, little girl, and we were showing her different things that she could play with while we were doing Bible study. And my wife brought her down to the office here, where I've got all these Star Wars toys, and she picked a couple up, looked at them, turned them over. Nah. And nope, don't want any of that. So she was more into the cute stuff, not the cool stuff that Santa has.
My kids loved the Galactic Heroes figures though. That line, they loved it.
This is going on Disney Plus and Disney Junior, is what I saw. Right?
Oh, it's going to get a lot of eyeballs if it goes on Disney Junior. It's going to get a lot of eyeballs.
Yeah, it's going on Disney Junior. Yeah, it's absolutely going to be popular. Jason, you're just wrong.
It's going to be a waste. It's going to be a waste of time.
Jason, can you at least admit that these characters look really cute?
I don't.
Like Yoda and.
I mean, Yoda looks cute, but the other ones don't look like Star Wars to me at all. The little furry guy, like that, just looks like they
Ewok.
took.
It's a blue Ewok.
It just looks like they took a Wuzzle from the '80s and were like, "That's Star Wars now. Wuzzles are Star Wars now."
People said the same thing in the Phantom Menace about some of those aliens.
Not me though. And now I'm saying this to this. So
back in Empire, or the Return of the Jedi, I was like, these are not my Wookiees.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that's because they were Ewoks. That's this will 4th of May. That's the other thing. May 4th. Not only are they, so this is not a Tuesday night. This is a Wednesday. They're releasing this and Visions on May 4th, which is breaking the.
You could only pick one. Which one are you going to pick, Santa?
Visions. But I'll watch this too. I'm absolutely watching this. And you can see the High Republic robes there. That's what they're introducing. Yoda's got them on. These two Jedi have them on. So got some sort of scoundrel back here. I don't know who that is, but that's coming in. Where was the other? Rick Jones. This style makes me want to puke. I hate it.
Thank you, Rick. Finally, somebody's speaking some sense here.
I see Chillmonger in the chat. Chillmonger did a brilliant video this week. This has nothing to do with Star Wars, but he did a brilliant video on temporary representation. Brilliant video. If you guys don't follow Chillmonger for anything else, you've not seen any of his content, search out his video on temporary representation. Best video of that type I've ever seen. It's fantastic. Yeah, you should see it.
Nice.
Then Star Wars Celebration. We got new Star Wars Celebration news.
What?
We're getting our boy Billy D and Rosario. Yeah.
You know
Meg,
what's really interesting about Billy D? I don't mean to be rude. I do not mean to be rude, but Billy D can barely talk these days. I don't know if you guys have seen like recent interviews. He can't form a coherent sentence. So
yeah,
and that's really sad.
Really up there.
He's a lovely guy and a legend, but it's just kind of sad. So I was kind of surprised to see this. I was expecting Donald Glover or someone else, but
back in 2002, I went to Celebration and I went to the Lobot Lando reunion. And I was like pumped for it. For whatever reason, I was like, this is it. Like I made sure I was there. Billy D's there. He's all charming. And Lobot is there. Hollis, the actor. And man, he was up there then too. It was super. It made me just sad. You know what I mean? It was like, oh man, it was like cool. But then he didn't know where he was for part of the panel. It was like, because it was so late in life for him. And it's like same thing with like I started Picard this week, and I haven't seen the actor who plays Picard in like forever and anything. I don't pay attention, and I see him and like his voice sounds so old. I'm like, he looks the same because he's always looked old, but his voice you can just hear like how frail he sounds, and it's like
Yeah.
yeah.
This is adorable, Robert. Although I hate the hat in your thumbnail. You got to change your thumbnail. Other than that, I love the story. His 4-year-old niece walks around with her Ahsoka ears from Disneyland, saying, "I'm Queen Ahsoka." I love that. She may love it. Exactly. 4-year-old. This is who it's made
Jason,
for.
are you talking about Patrick Stewart?
Patrick Stewart, yeah.
He's hilarious in American Dad. He plays Stan's boss, and it's really funny. But yeah, in recent times, he's done a few commercials here in the UK.
Yeah.
Like,
we have them
and
here
yeah,
too.
he doesn't sound like he used to.
Yeah, he used to have like a real commanding, like like his power was in his voice, in that like deep, like strong voice, and it doesn't have anymore. It's aging. What do you want? But I mean, it is
same
like,
with James Earl Jones, right?
It was shocking to
big,
me
powerful voice.
I hadn't seen him in so long. Like I just to go from like my depiction of him to that, I was like, whoa, I'm gonna die. I felt my mortality.
No, he's great. So yeah, Meg, you're going to be at Celebration, right?
I am.
In disguise. You'll be looking like a normal human instead of a GIF.
No, she's like a real Roger Rabbit person. Yeah,
I'll just be a GIF waddling through, blinking.
Leaking.
Not to be confused with the GILF. Totally different thing. Sorry.
Totally different. That's for you, Jason. Jason.
I'm like Biggs.
Stop it.
Sorry. Sorry.
You had that one coming. You had it coming. So our friend Bespin has several articles we should Meg's going to be cosplaying as her avatar. But have you decided?
Jason has actually seen my face. Jason saw my face by accident the other day.
Yeah,
because we were doing a stream. I cut it out, but he complimented my eye makeup, I think.
Yeah, you do your eye makeup pretty good. I was like, hey, look, it's Meg. I mean, it was weird because you look just like your art, so it wasn't like the art thing is like some kind of like, she doesn't have like one eye that's like down here or anything. She looks just like the art. I don't know. You might as well just come on camera, in my opinion.
I've only seen half her face.
It is true though.
It was lovely.
My avatar is actually based on a picture I have of myself, so
yeah.
All the features are more or less similar. Santa's seen half my face.
I've seen half. It was quite lovely, but it was half and it was sideways, so it did and Meg told me how to see like her chin. I've seen that too, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because there's other places you can find Meg on the internet.
I was gonna say something that would have sounded way wrong, but my brain luckily stopped me. I was gonna say Baymax has actually seen my fingers. But I was going to word it, he's seen me fingering, but as in a guitar, not myself. Anyway.
My goodness.
On our Only Fets for that. Only Fets.
Does Meg sit on a bouncy ball? Yeah, that's
yeah, that's what it is.
That's what it is. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Fitz has also seen the same thing that I've seen. So there you go. Sasha Banks. Is Sasha Banks Casca Reeves in The Mandalorian? Well, we saw that helmet, right? And then if you look at this picture that Bespin has, this looks like it could be her right back there. Yeah?
I mean, it's, probably.
Sounds, I don't know if have we covered the Rick Famuyiwa story?
No, that's next.
Okay.
That's next. We're going right to left, so it's right there. But Casca Reeves, do we have enough evidence now that we feel comfortable saying she's in it? Boba Fett is maybe not. Casca Reeves.
It so hinges on, are those are those art assets that they're slinging relevant? Because if that's the case, then yeah. But at the same time, like when you're making this many Mandalorians, generic and not, you could easily see her being just tossed over to the licensees to just make stuff. This is like it's like all the same. Who cares? Nobody's gonna know. Kind of, you know what I mean? Sort of situation. And in terms of Bespin Bulletin, what he has on that stuff right there, it does look like it does look like it's her to me. And like, so I kind of go like, I'm like really in the probably, but it's also, it's a little, it's really hard to get good cell phone pictures like at that distance and to like really truly read it. Yeah. So it's a hard, it's like, I'm not like, I wouldn't bet everything on it, but I would say it's looking pretty good at this stage. Don't you think? Like where are you guys at on it?
Yeah. Martin wants to know where the guy with the tour shirt has been. I don't know. I don't know.
I have an interview actually on Monday with Paul Sun-Hyun Lee, who plays Carson Teva.
Oh, nice.
And I've been trying to come up with some elaborate questions. I was thinking of a way to like get him to not accidentally reveal something, but to kind of hint at something. And I was wondering if the Costco thing was something to bring up with the Mandos.
I want to know if his name is based off of the city Carson that's right next to where they film. Something I've always wondered.
Interesting. Because we know how Dave Filoni chose his name. Trapper Wolf.
Oh, yeah.
He loves
Trapper
wolves.
Wolf. Yeah. And he had a Trapper.
Did you know that
folders.
Axe Woves was originally going to be Grogu's name because George Lucas jokingly said you should call him Axe Woves.
Yeah, which is way cooler for him. Like, I'm Axe. That's way cooler for that little guy.
It's ironic, isn't it? Like a cute little Grogu being called Axe.
Yeah, that's rad. I'm totally on board with that. I think it was a mistake to go with Grogu. I'm never going to like Grogu as a name for the guy.
I thought all the species had Y names,
Yeah, I don't think Grogu is his name. I think that's the name of his species. Because when I spoke to Bernard Bullen from season 1, who plays Din Djarin's dad, he kept saying that the script said that he was a Grogu, not Grogu. So they've had that name for a long time, and I think it might be a remnant of when Grogu was at Mount Tantis, and they labeled each of the people there by their species. So you had the Kaminoan, you had the Wookiee maybe, or the Grogu. So I think that's what we're going to come to find.
So like calling him, like it's like Gizmo thinking his name is Mogwai as opposed to Gizmo. I got it. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. I love it. I think that's absolutely spot on, Meg. Rick Famuyiwa. And I'm sorry, I've got to kind of pick up the speed. I do have a meeting in like 20 minutes, and I got to have lunch in between and all that, so I'm running out of time. But okay. So Rick, Meg, what did you want to say about Rick?
He's got chapter 17 and 24. He's directed both, and the armorer is in his episodes, because Emily Swallow was like, I worked with Rick more than anyone else in the cast, so...
let me throw this out there too. If Grogu isn't his name, Hasbro is going to wet themselves when they realize that he's got another name, and they can re-release all of the Grogu stuff with a different name on all the cards, and they can resell everything that they've already made by just changing the name on the card. That's Hasbro's wet dream right now.
His new name is Chuckles.
Whatever. It's just going to be crazy.
Chuckles.
So Rick, yeah, he gets 2 episodes.
I like they probably did them. What it sounds like they're doing, where he's doing episode 1 and episode 8 of the new season. If that's the case, that's kind of good, because that sort of will mean that there's some sort of logic in between motivations that everybody has going on throughout it.
Miss the Flower. Nah, Grogu's his name. I like this. The artist, the child formerly known as Grogu. And to your point,
comment is really funny. Barry Yoda.
Barry Yoda.
um, uh, to your point, I heard you talk about this the other day, Jason. They didn't necessarily film in episode order, right? Episodic order.
They definitely didn't.
They filmed everything wherever it fits in for
And there were like
staging that day.
There were like 3 rounds of reshoots as well for that one too. So yeah, who knows? Who knows where all this
Can I
stuff
just
falls.
address Robert's comments? Because I made this when they announced, I think it was Heavy Spoilers had the scoop on Grogu's name before Chapter 13.
Mhm.
And my first thought was, I bet Dave Filoni watched American Dad, because the season before Mando even came out, I think, in that season, Roger had a homunculus come out of his brain, the alien from American Dad, and called it Rogu. And it's like this small, cute creature. And if I ever get to speak to Dave Filoni, that is my one question for him. And if he answers that, I can sleep at night.
That's great. All right.
Did you name
we've got
Grogu after Rogu?
after Rogu? And
You're like, what?
Is
Huh?
that his name, or is that the species? Right. I think the species would be perfect.
I don't know where I am
The
right
last
now.
one, and this was going to be the title of the show today. We had a thumbnail and everything. Yahya is going to be is cast as one of the leads in Damon Lindelof's Star Wars movie. And the way that this came down is it's still somewhat speculation, right? So it's not like, hey, 100% in the bag. There's this discussion, and you can read it on Bespin Bulletin. He's got the entire quote here that you can read, and you can read it in context of what he said, where he said that we talked about how the leads are black, right? It's a black man and a black woman. I was told, and I think I've said this before, so make sure to note it when you're doing it. I've already said this. The black actor came attached to the movie.
So that means that they signed the person, the lead, really early. That they're writing it to them. It's kind of, I think, what he's saying there.
Yeah, it came attached to the movie.
Yeah.
Right? So that was done really early.
Like they pitched the movie with him as the lead, and they're like, yes, and they worked out a deal.
Again, got to go to Chillmonger's video. You watch Chillmonger's video, and you'll get what he's saying here, right? But the black actor came attached to the movie. Who does he have as a relationship with? You know, he did just work with the last thing that got him this job. You want to say it so I don't have to? Talking to the co-host of the show, and he mentioned Yahya there. He says, I mean, he did fit the description I was given about an actor that's gone back and forth between the film and television, and yet has never been the lead of his own film. And I think Bespin corrected that to say, yeah, he has actually, but not a big one. Yeah. Yes, that's what Bespin said. Candyman.
I don't think we realize just how big a piece of news this is, because this kind of will get the ball rolling for the news about when the film goes into production. We'll get more exclusives, because when the cast was announced for the sequels, that was a huge deal. And this is kind of the start of that, if they're aiming for a May production, which I think Bespin reported on in the past. So this is pretty big. This is our first concrete piece of like, okay, I know it's just a rumor from Jeff Snyder, but he was the guy who revealed Damon Lindelof was writing this film in the first place. Yeah. Do we know for sure if Obaid Chinoy is the director, or is that just speculation?
One of you guys told me that she kind of confirmed it somewhere, but I never saw where that was or heard it myself.
I said that, and I had a look, and I was wrong. She never confirmed it herself.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think it's a big deal.
Well, the trades saying, well, two things. The trades said it, so most likely it is probably on, but also with Snyder saying this actor is the part, most likely somebody else with less, I don't know, somebody is going to hear it from the trades and then try to steal the scoop from him and then try to put it into a variety or to one of the trades as their own scoop. They've done it to me a lot of times. Like, they do it all the time. It's what they do. If it's not in a trade, if it's not in Variety or THR, then we'll just go and steal it. So what I'm trying to say is, if this is accurate, most likely people from the trades are making phone calls today if they've picked up on it, if they've noticed it, if they've heard it anywhere, and they're going to. We might have a confirmation on this if it's accurate pretty soon. I think I would imagine.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was on the hot mic. So let's give credit where credit's due. The hot mic is where it came from, and then Bespin grabbed it from there.
No, that's not how this happened. How this happened was me and Bespin are playing Fortnite, and we're talking. And we're like, hey,
that's true.
We need to have Chess Knight or something. Hey, let's get Chris Spreezy to watch it for us so we can keep playing video games because he's our pal. And then Chris Spreezy goes and says, I'll do that because he's a pal. And then he asks, Chris Spreezy asks Snyder. Snyder says yes. Chris calls us, and I say, I'm going live. And then he's I'll do the article. And we all did it as a team, but it's all thanks to Jeff Snyder and thanks to Chris Spreezy for asking him. That's how that stupid story happened yesterday.
100%. That's exactly how it happened. But then this is a follow-up show. This wasn't that one, right? Yeah. This is a follow-up. So, but that follow-up comes because Spreezy did what he did. Mm-hmm. Kind of pushed it. And now they're chasing the story. So, good job, Spreezy. Absolutely.
No, this happened last night. This all happened. This is round two. This is round two. This happened twice now.
Oh, you guys did this with Spreezy again last night.
Yesterday, yeah. This is me and Destin were playing Fortnite yesterday, talking like, oh, hey, the show's going a little bit late. And then Jeff Snyder had all this drama with some guy trying to sue him and stuff, and we were just talking about it. And then I was like, so I texted Spreezy and I said, go ask him.
You've used the same tactic twice, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
Oh, good job. Good job.
All right. This is the Empire Strikes Back of that. Next week is Return of the Jedi of it. We're going to, hopefully, Spreezy will ask about the female lead and Jeff Snyder will know.
I wanted to mention something about the Matt Cave. Go ahead.
So sorry, Jason, I don't know if this is like something I dreamed or if this is real, but maybe you can maybe you can remember if it is true. Was there a time you had Spreezy on your show and he was telling you about a really bad date after he met someone online and he went on a really bad date?
Yes.
And because the woman wasn't who she was in the pictures or something like that. Did I dream that, or did that actually happen?
No, that happened. Spreezy, tell us the story again. Yeah, that definitely happened. He was like, what, man? Like, what is this? And I was just like, yeah, what are you gonna do?
I don't have time to go all through that because I still got to get ready for the meeting that's in like 15 minutes.
This is important stuff. This is really important.
I know it is, and I wish. Look, I just put this out there again. If anybody wants to sponsor me to just quit my job and just do Star Wars all the time, hit me up.
You just threw it up right there. He's just confirming. I got catfish.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there we go. It was by a smaller lady.
That would be Meg.
Yeah, it was. It was. No, it was like. We're talking like yeah, she was an Elwyn.
Right. The Matt Cave. I want to mention he did some edits of the sequel trilogy, just for his own, like cutting out some of the parts that were kind of offensive to him, like the parts that made the sequels less enjoyable. And I think that's a really healthy thing to do. You get a better relationship with it. And he's even said, like, by doing that process, he was able to enjoy the movies more. Not that he loves them, not by any means. I'm not saying that at all. Just saying
he loves them.
Some time.
He's a Raylo. Matt Cave's a Raylo.
He's a great guy.
Matt Cave loves Raylo.
I wanted to bring up one more thing. Is we have
in his edit though, does Kylo Ren take off the shirt, like come in the motion, like in slow motion with that barrel chest
and have like wavy hair blowing in the
they watch music plays. Hasselhoff?
No.
Okay.
No. But hey, we have Patreon, and for as little as $1 a month, you can join us on Patreon, and there's some exclusive content there where we're going through the Plagueis novel. We just finished chapter 9. And chapter 9 had Plagueis meets Palpatine for the first time. So we're that far into the book. We're a little around a third of the way through. and now's when the bait and switch happens, my friends. From here on out, it's the Palpatine novel.
Oh, okay.
One third of the way through the book, and 1/3 of the way through the book, one chapter was entirely Palpatine already. So less than a third of the way through the book, or a third of the content of the book is actually Plagueis content. So that's been my complaint about the novel all along. But you could, for $1 a month, you can actually read and listen to the Plagueis novel in our Patreon, and you can post questions in there that I'll address on live streams or topics if they are appropriate. And I say that because I have Jason and Meg as friends, and I have to put that disclaimer. Because
Why Plagueis so mad? That's what I asked. Why Plagueis so mad all the time?
So I'll bring it up. And it wouldn't be a live stream if we didn't do the Mike Porter dad joke. And, I didn't copy it. I got to go. I normally put it into.
Wait, the Mike Porter dad jokes are copied?
I copied them from Twitter.
No, you just said
he posted them on Twitter. No. I steal them directly from Mike Porter, and I put Mike Porter's.
Is there really a Mike Porter, or is it one of Santa's alter egos?
Yeah, that's what I think. I think that's his pen name, his dad joke pen name.
So here we go. I've got the link to Mike Porter's Twitter account, because you can't find Mike Porter just by putting in Twitter, searching Mike Porter. Good luck. He's actually Michael 4390149. His dad joke today is Star Wars
Dad
edition.
Snoke. Dad Snokes. No? Okay.
I think Santa just read out his CT number.
Mm-hmm.
CT. Yeah, he's a clone trooper. So it says, why did Anakin get burnt on Mustafar?
Why, Mike Porter?
Because he forgot to turn over from the dark side. Get it? That's a good one. That's good. Will Morgan said, Mike Porter's Santa's Chet. No. Mike Porter's actually real. Chet's not real.
Next time Chris Breezy gets catfish, he should just start telling those jokes, and then they'll just leave.
Except
so good.
when it happens to be that person's thing, and they get way into it.
They're like, oh,
He's
man.
like, oh, this backfired.
Oh, burn victims are hot.
She's like, whisper those sweet dad jokes into my ear.
Oh my good. All right. Well, I put the link to Mike Porter's Twitter in the chat. So you guys be sure to support Mike Porter. He's the best. Great guy. And I have got to go. I've got less than 10 minutes for the meeting. I got to grab something to eat and all of that. So Meg, I know that you had other plans that kind of fell through. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
It's a great way to finish the week, getting to talk with friends about Star Wars and Jason. Absolutely,
it was okay. It was okay. I don't know.
I know. Well, no. You're just so grumpy. We gotta go have a Snickers or something. Yeah.
I didn't sleep last night, so that's probably why
okay.
I'm a little grouchy today.
All right.
I do love you guys.
We love you too. Thank you so much. You guys have a great day. And until next time, my friends, may the force be with you all. And Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.